Hi, Bob the Canadian here. Welcome to this English lesson about one word, the word get. Possibly the most used word in the English language. We use the word get a lot. There are a lot of phrasal verbs with the word get in it. There are just a lot of times that we use the word get. So in this lesson, I'm going to try and talk about my typical day and use the word get as often as I possibly can. Are you ready? Should we get started? Okay, here we go. When I get up in the morning, I usually get out of bed right away. I don't stay in bed very long because I like to get started. I like to get going when I wake up in the morning. I don't like to lay around. I like to get things rolling. So usually when I get downstairs, I have some breakfast and I get a few things together to get ready to go to work. When I get out the door, I get in my van and then I go to work. And when I get to work, I usually have the same attitude. I really want to get the day started. I really want to get going. So I go straight to my classroom and I get a few things ready so that when the students arrive, we can get started right away. When the students get to the classroom, I say, hey, get to your desks as quickly as possible because I want to get started. So please have a seat and get your things out on your desk and get ready because we're going to have a great learning day today. Once I get the lesson started, I usually give the students some work that they can get going on. I don't want to just be the only one talking in the classroom. I like to start talking and then they can get going on their own work and then I can get down to business. I can get down to the business of walking around and helping students do the work that they need to do. As we get closer to the end of class, I usually say to the students, okay, you really need to keep moving here. You need to get moving if you want to finish all the work that you need to finish today. So get moving. Class is going to end in about 10 minutes, and then you're going to have to get going to the next class. Or maybe they're just going to go get lunch. I'm not sure. It depends on which class I'm teaching. Once we get to the end of class and once class is over, I usually just get my things together again and I usually go back to the teacher workroom. And sometimes I just get to work on some other stuff while I'm waiting for my next class to start. Sometimes I have a bit of a break and then I just get to kick back and relax a little bit. And that's really nice. I like it when I have a little bit of time just to kind of gather my thoughts and kind of get ready for the next class again. Then I go to the next class and it's just a repeat. I get to class, the students get to class, we get our things out, they get started. I get down to the business of teaching, they get their work done, I get my work done. I get paid, but they don't get paid, which is a little bit sad, isn't it? But not really. I don't think students should get paid because they're getting an education, right? If you're going to get an education, you shouldn't get paid for it. That would just be silly. So once the school day is done, once I have taught all my classes, once I have done the things I need to do, I'm usually pretty eager to get going. I'm eager to get home. Once the work day is done and I get home, I'm usually starting to get hungry. And when I get hungry, I think, who's going to get supper ready? I might say to Jen, hey, do you want to get supper ready or do you want me to get supper ready tonight? And Jen might say, hey, could you get supper ready because I was already out today, I went to get the groceries. So if you could get supper ready, I have a few things that I need to get done outside. So maybe Jen goes to get things done and I get supper started. And the kids are probably around because they're definitely getting hungry and they're probably starting to get on my nerves a little bit because when my kids are hungry, they keep asking, Dad, when is supper? And I keep answering, it's at 5:30. And then they get on my nerves because a couple minutes later, they ask the same question again. Not very nice. Anyways, usually once I have the supper made, I get it on the table. And once I have the dishes and the plates and the cups on the table and I get the supper on the table, I'll say to everybody, get in here. It's time to eat. I have supper ready. So the kids will sit down. Jen will sit down. We'll all have a nice time. We'll eat. We'll get some nice warm food in our stomachs. And we'll be ready to maybe just kick back and relax a bit once supper is done. It's always nice to get the dishes done right away. I like to get right at it. I don't like to leave the dishes on the counter because when you leave the dishes on the counter overnight, it just gets really hard to wash them the next day. So I like to get the dishes done right away. I don't like to let them sit. It just works a lot better when you do the dishes right away, doesn't it? And then usually I'm starting to get a little bit tired. Sometimes I'm getting a little bit Yeah, just from the day being so long, I'm getting a bit worn down. I'm getting tired. I'm ready to just get myself into a chair and watch a little bit of TV. That's usually one of my most enjoyable things to do in the evening. I get my fill of entertainment every evening by watching TV. Usually I watch a show called Jeopardy. I get my kicks from watching that show. It's a really cool show. It's trivia, and I always try to get the right answer. So they ask a question, and you have to know a lot in order to get the right answer. So it's nice. If I get a lot of answers right, I'm usually really, really happy because I think it makes me feel smart. Maybe I'm getting a big head. I'm not sure. When you get a big head, it means you think you're really smart, and maybe you're not. So anyways, usually then I'm starting to get tired, and it's getting close to being time to get to bed. I like to get to bed at a decent time. I don't like to stay up too late. So sometimes I get to bed around 11 p.m. on the weekends, but usually during the week, Jen and I like to get to bed around 9:30 or 10. I know it sounds early, but then I can get in a little bit of time to read. It's always nice to read before I get to sleep. And so usually you say go to sleep, but sometimes it's hard to get to sleep. I had that a few nights ago where I closed my eyes, but I just couldn't get to sleep. It wasn't very nice. But once I do get to sleep, I usually have a really, really nice evening, and I usually sleep really, really well. So anyways, I hope that was interesting for you. I'm not sure how many times I used the word get in that little story that I just told, but thank you so much for watching. I know I spoke very, very quickly, so do make sure you watch this 2 or 3 times. You can slow down the speed of the video if you were having trouble getting it. Maybe it was hard to understand what I was saying. So if you want to slow it down and watch it again, I would do that. But I think this was a good impromptu lesson off the top of my head on how to use the word get in a whole bunch of different sentences. Thanks for watching. I hope this English lesson helped you learn just a little bit more English. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe by clicking that red button. Give me a thumbs up if this video helped you learn a little bit more English. And if you have a bit of time, why don't you stay and watch another English lesson? Bye. I'm going to get out of here now.